Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Maggie, and I'm here with Peter, and Peter is the CEO of the Walton Arts Center. And I guess we're just wondering, like, how was the Walton Arts Center founded?
The Walton Arts Center was founded by the community. So the city of Fayetteville and the University of Arkansas came together and then formed a nonprofit. And a bunch of citizens raised some money to support what the university put in and what the city put in. And that pot of money helped build the Walton Arts Center and create the nonprofit that runs it.
Okay. And how long has it been in business?
So that was done in the late 80s, and it was opened in 1992. You know how long ago that was? Yeah, exactly. Well done.
So what's the goal and mission of Walton Arts Center?
So the mission is to provide arts, culture, and entertainment to Northwest Arkansas and our people. So we serve students, we serve grandparents, and we serve everything in between. And the goal is to, when you look at the programs at the Walton Arts Center, you want to see something. Everybody hopefully can find something there that resonates for them. So whether you've got kids and you want to bring them to a family show, or you want to go to the Walmart Amp and see a contemporary rock and roll show, or you want to do some adult learning or in-school learning, we try to make sure there's something on all the pages that everybody can learn about. Make sense?
Yeah. What are your values?
My values?
Yeah.
So my values, I think, are really around arts and culture and respect. So for me, that's a really great question. I got to think about that in a sense. For me, the biggest, most important thing is community and arts and culture. And so one of the reasons I love the Walton Arts Center is because we're a sort of a big fish in a small pond. Mm-hmm. And we can serve lots of different people. And that really aligns with my values, which means everybody has an opportunity. Let me give you a small story now. I'm going to diverge for a second. I was exposed to the arts at a very young age. My mother was from Philadelphia, and she was asked to host a string quartet, which are two violins, a viola, and cello, to stay overnight. And I was 6 years old. And that young, the quartet was practicing, and I went into the cellist and he said, "I bet you can't play Faragaka." And he said, "Well, let's see." He sat down, and for 45 minutes he played music to me. And I went running into the kitchen and I said, "Mom, I want to do that." And from there I had the opportunity to play music, eventually become a professional musician. And I learned what it was to be an artist. And so that inspired me to work in the arts, and also shapes my values. It's a long-winded answer to your question. And the values that I have is that everybody should have an opportunity to be exposed to the arts. Everybody should have that opportunity. And so that's what we try to do. We want to make sure that every person, young or old, has the opportunity to experience it at least once, maybe multiple times. Because if you do, it can change you. Or it might just go, "Oh, that's really nice. I'm glad my friend Maggie enjoyed that, but it wasn't for me." But it has an impact. That's part of how my values.
So what is the typical day look like for you?
That's a great question. So, I can give you the very specifics, because but a typical day for me is really around making sure that the organization is moving in a particular direction. So, Miss Sally and others of a couple of people all work in various different departments. You got to see the production, the back of stage. You got to see the front of the house, the audience, where the audience is coming. And we have a finance team, we have a programming team, we have a fundraising team. My job is to make sure all of the teams are all paddling in the same direction. You've probably been in a boat when people are all paddling cattywampus, and the boat goes in a circle. So my job is to make sure that the boat is going on the right stream and going in the right direction at the right speed. So working with the teams to make sure that we're executing whatever programs we're doing. And so I think that's the definition.
And obviously there's a lot going on right now with the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And we're wondering like how exactly has that specifically affected the Walton Center and how you guys run.
So it is the most devastating thing that has ever happened to the arts in my life. We have 161 people employed here on the payroll on March 12th. Today we have 74. So that's a loss of a lot of people, which is very sad, very challenging. We were the first industry to stop. We were in the middle of a Broadway run. The group from Anastasia from Broadway was here on our stages on Thursday night, and on Friday morning we canceled the show. The rest of the run, they were supposed to play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They went into their hotel for 3 days till we negotiated an ability. All the patrons, we haven't seen patrons since March. And we probably will be the last to come back. Because large format gatherings, as you all know, is not very safe until there is some kind of vaccine or adequate testing and our audiences feel comfortable. I would imagine if you talk to your parents or grandparents or uncles and aunts, they're not all very comfortable getting outside and going out to a big party right now. I know a lot of public feel that way. So,
what are some of your biggest needs right now, and how can we help as leaders?
That's a great question. You're gonna make me cry because that's the kind of thing I cherish in our community is people saying how can they help. And the way that I think people have really helped is by saying, first of all, understanding that we're in a really challenging position. Number two, helping to support the organization. So people have volunteered, people have donated money. We have a thing called the Ghostlight Recovery Fund. Miss Sally may have explained to you there's a light that you put on the stage when you turn the lights off. That's so when people come back, they can find their way back into the stages. So we took that as a metaphor, quite literally, and said, and now start a campaign to raise money to help keep the Walton Arts Center. So volunteering, helping to support the organization. Also, the other way to do it is when we start selling tickets, come back, come, buy a ticket to something, buy a gift certificate for tickets for someone else to come. And that will happen in November and December. We'll have plenty of opportunities for people to buy tickets for future shows or a gift certificate to be there. All of that helps us. Also, there is some legislation that's being considered at the federal level and at the state level, lending your voice to say, we want you to support those organizations that were hardest hit, whether it's in the hospitality or the arts and the culture industry. All voices matter. And so when you guys lend your support to that or write letters, it goes a long way. It means a difference.
And finally, what's like a fun fact about here? What's something that nobody really knows about the Walton Arts Center?
Oh, jeez.
You might think about that.
Yeah. Well, the fun facts. I'll give you a couple fun facts. Let me ask it. Let me turn the question back to you. How many young people do you think have come through our doors since 28 years?
I don't even know. A lot.
Oh gosh.
Let's say over almost 1 million children.
Yeah.
It must be. Last year we served 28,000 students. So that was just in 1 year. That was not last year. That was now the season before last season. But the 18-19 season. Just about 28,000.
So I think the fun facts are between the Walton Arts Center and the Walmart Amp, both of those properties. Many people don't know that the Walton Arts Center actually runs the Walmart Amp and the Walton Arts Center.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And so that's a fun fact. I'd say another fun fact is last year we sent out 380,000 tickets. Now, if you think about that as a percentage of the total population of Northwest Arkansas, that's a pretty significant number. So we tend to serve a lot of people. Another fun fact: last year, you'll know this, maybe you will know this, but when you work for an organization or you take a job, you get sent a W-2, which says how much you made, and the government knows to take their taxes. We sent out almost 500 W-2s, so we employ lots of people. Our services reach hundreds of thousands every year. Not this year, but yeah. And so those are some things.
Well, thank you for having us, and we look forward to helping out any way we can.
That's
Thank you.
great. Well, let me ask you guys some questions. This is the fun part. Do you have a minute
Yeah.
to do that? All right. So tell me a little bit about you.